Hey guys, Lloyd Power here, and today I'll be discussing whether keyboard and mouse is better than controller. Now, this topic is a little biased. Usually people that talk about it are biased for either controller or keyboard, but I recently switched from controller, and I can tell you, man, it is very different, and each of them have their pros and cons, and something that does have a con that I'm going to say right now is the fact that you're not subscribed. It's free and you can do it easily. Now first I'm going to talk about the pros and cons for both of them, but I'm going to start with keyboard and mouse. So I'm just going to call it keyboard right now for the sake of simplicity. For keyboard, you gotta really put in the time to grind. Unlike controller, it's not simple. That's a pro, not a con. Due to the fact that it's so complicated and the layout is so complicated, you can do way more stuff. Controller is basic and beginner friendly, but that might be a negative. Imagine this. It's like whenever you're constructing Legos, and you go from building with Legos to building full 10-story houses. It goes from basic to complicated so fast whenever you switch that it kinda confuses you. But trust me, your mechanics are gonna improve on keyboard. Now, another pro is the fact that you have a mouse. Guarantee you a mouse is way more accurate than a controller stick. The mouse has basically as much accuracy as you can give it. With a mouse, you control your aim. If you have bad aim, that's because you suck and you don't put in the time and the effort to practice. And with that kind of accuracy, you can really hit some shots. I personally have good to mediocre aim, on par with my aim on controller, but then again, when I did play on controller, I played on usually 10% aim assist on Nintendo Switch, which had worse aim assist. So it kind of makes sense that my aim is gonna be iffy. But then again, my aim on controller was good. That's besides the point. Now, another pro with keyboard and mouse is the fact that you can really customize it however you want. You control your binds. No matter what, there aren't some set binds that are better for this or that. Whatever binds you like that you find comfortable and efficient are good for you. Some binds might be better than others, but overall, whatever is the most efficient, the most comfortable for you is good for you. Now I'm going to talk about the pros of controller. On controller, give or take, aim assist is going to be good. You know, I've played against players from many ranges of skill, and whenever I'm playing against somebody on keyboard and mouse that's bad, their aim is also bad. But whenever I'm playing against somebody on controller that's bad, usually their mechanics are bad, but their aim is good. That's mainly because it's more beginner friendly and it's easier to aim on, which is a good thing, because then controller players at least stand a chance in the aiming department. Now, on controller, aim assist might be great and all, but you really have such limited control of your aim that I feel aim assist is really important and should be a fundamental part of controller. But I'm going to get to that in the next bit. So, another pro of controller is it's really beginner friendly mechanics-wise. You can pull very similar things mechanically to basic keyboard and mouse with a fourth of the inputs, right? And it usually takes way less effort to do many mechanical things in many games, including Fortnite. And, you know, it might not really work out for you. Like, you might not like the beginner friendly part, but personally, if I'm new to a game, I will definitely try playing it first on controller if I can, because that can really help. My aim, like I said, is not the best, so getting some beforehand experience before switching to keyboard is definitely well worth it. Now on with the cons. The cons on keyboard are pretty straightforward. First one, your aiming on keyboard can really suck. Your mouse is a double-edged sword. You both have full control of it, and you can have great aim on it, but that could also mean that because you have full control of it, you can have bad aim on it. That's my problem. It's all your fault if you start missing shots. It's not something's fault, it's the fact that you're just not good at aiming. And you gotta really try and practice, which takes some time. Now, another con is the fact that, due to the fact that your left hand is doing so much on the keyboard, your left hand's really gonna get strained. Mine, at first, was fine, but recently, I've tried so many different ways to get my keyboard more ergonomic. I've tried tilting it, raising it, lowering it, putting pads on my keyboard, so many things, and it just is so tiring of the left hand. I can't describe it. And that strain really makes gaming uncomfortable, because you gotta take a break every 30 minutes. And if you're in a deep session, then you can't really take a break every 30 minutes. You're already playing the game, and you're so invested in it, especially if you're playing competitive. You don't really get those 30-minute breaks, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, those are the cons of keyboard and mouse. Now on with the cons of controller. So on controller, like I said, it's really basic, and that really limits your mechanical heights. Somebody on controller is gonna have way less potential than somebody on keyboard. Now, what I didn't talk about controller is controller movement, because that's a little iffy. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. In most games it's good, but I'm not going to really talk about that, as it isn't too much of an advantage. Now, my problem with the fact that controller is so basic is it takes way longer to really improve on controller. And speaking of improving on controller, you can check out my video about improving on controller. Link in the description. But you are so limited. And another problem I have with it are the sticks. Aiming with the sticks themselves without aim assist is a hassle. You might as well work a 9-to-5 job trying to understand that. You might as well go to controller university trying to understand how the hell you aim with those things. Those little hunks of plastic that are so annoying and janky to aim with that you randomly spin around to the left when your sensitivity is low. Yeah, that's really the main con with controller, and maybe the fact that you gotta use paddles or claw, but that really is also a part of the controller being so basic part. Now, this is the verdict. At the end of the day, really, I don't think that you should switch off of either controller or keyboard if you feel like you're improving. If you're on keyboard and mouse and your aim sucks, then I'd recommend you switch. If you're on controller and your mechanics suck, and you just can't improve, no matter how hard you try, then I'd recommend you switch. Obviously, I'm not an expert, this is just my personal opinion. It took me a while to improve my mechanics on both. It was faster on keyboard, mainly because keyboard is more advanced, but that's really it. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, make sure to drop Epic Gamer in the comments below, and have a nice day. See ya.